G'day again, guys. It's Wes here from the DUC. Welcome to our Migrating to Australia podcast. I'm joined by Ryan Walker-Drain. Ryan's one of our chippies currently in the UK. Got a partner, Jessica, and two young children, Leo and Scarlett. As always, Ryan, firstly, welcome, mate, and thanks for making the time to join us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We love the podcast. I'm looking forward to talking.
Now you're wearing a football Guernsey, mate. Who do you follow?
Well, I'm a Forest fan, but this is an Argentina top, so I like the old '80s replica tops. So I collect them, sort of thing. So,
cool, man. Very different, mate. You've got the jacket on with that on, and I'm wearing a singlet top. Different.
Yeah, I know. We've recently come back from Thailand, so I'm still sort of wearing the Thai stuff. It's winter. I look a bit of a maniac walking around with a vest on that's got Chang written on it, but I'm trying to hold on to it a little bit. So
yeah. Don't let that ship sail, mate. You don't always
that's right.
That beautiful country. You keep it going. So whereabouts in the UK do you live, mate?
So we live in Nottingham, which is just dead centre, but far away from beaches. Hence why we're going to Cornwall today. So we're smack bang in the middle of England.
So I think for us Aussies, you're probably going to get a lot of Robin Hood jokes, maybe. I think he was Nottingham, wasn't he?
He was Nottingham, yeah. That's sort of whenever we go on holiday, we say Nottingham. We expect that. That's the first thing that they come back with, Robin Hood. So at least we've got something, I suppose.
You'd be known as the Prince of Thieves, mate, when you're working on the job site. By the Aussies, they won't hold back on that one.
No, that's all right.
So, all right, cool. So you're a chippy, just come back from a good holiday. Whereabouts in the process are you?
So we lodged our expression of interest on Friday.
Oh, so sorry. So you put in an expression of interest and you got an invitation to apply on Friday?
We've not got the invitation. We just put the EOIs in on Friday, so we're waiting for the invitation. Checking the emails every 2 minutes.
Yeah, good man. Yeah, well, that's the beauty of it, isn't it? But I think you're gonna use the power of the podcast, mate. We've done a few podcasts now, Ryan, where we've done a podcast and amazingly people get results. So
yeah, I hope so.
Across so you mentioned Queensland. You put in the EOI for Queensland. I assume that's where you're looking to migrate to?
Yes, Queensland. Yes, exactly that.
Yeah, and whereabouts in Queensland? Sunny Coast, Gold Coast, Brisbane.
We're looking between the Gold Coast and Brisbane. That sort of side. Maybe there's a suburb in between the two. Especially work-wise, sort of. I've signed up to quite a few sort of working agencies, and it seems that that's where a lot of the work is. So. We've not decided exactly, but we like Brisbane. We like the Gold Coast. We're thinking more that side than the Sunshine Coast side. So,
yeah. Well, as we did your skills assessment, you would have received your full Australian qualification. Mate, for you to arrive in Oz with your full Australian qualification and go on to Queensland, I don't think you're really going to struggle with the job, mate. I really don't.
It does seem that way. Yeah.
It's there's so much work at the moment in Oz. It's a good time, but. We've got to be realistic. By the time you get your invite, it's interesting at the moment. So we're seeing clients getting their visas granted in like 3 months now, which is nuts.
I've noticed on the Facebook DUC page, some of them, the time's just incredible how quick the process has become.
It's weird, isn't it? It's just like I don't even know. Like I don't like the immigration. It's just so different, isn't it? Like some people wait years to get their visa granted, and others just get a couple of months into it.
100%. Well, to say we didn't actually have the consultation until the 20th of Jan. Even the point that we're at now, we never expected it to move as quick as it has. So,
this year?
Yeah,
mate. Well done. So you've had your skills assessment complete, and you've done your English test.
Yeah, we hit it hard. We come back from Thailand with the holiday blues, and we hit it hard. So
yeah, I bet, man. I bet. So, mate, well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Just for the listeners out there, that's about this is being recorded on the 2nd of the 4th, 2026. So the Thursday before Easter, before the Easter holidays, which I might talk a bit about the Easter holidays over in Oz as well, but. Mate, that's less than what's that? That's like 2 months, 2 and a bit months.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah,
Jeez.
it can sound quite plain sailing, but there's obviously, as you can imagine, and as I'm sure you'll know, there's been we've been at it. We've just been in that bubble since we've come back, just literally on it non-stop. So that is on us that it's been that quick, because we've literally we've not
Yep.
stopped, because we
No,
know
no,
we
you
yeah.
take that all day long, Ryan, because you're saying private Facebook. I would definitely, I
Yeah.
would, because you earned it. Why not? Like
Yeah,
you can
thank
either
you.
just get it done. The lads over here, I'm always on them. Like, mate, your visa's expiring. Just smash it out. Just get it done.
Yeah, 100%. Each thing that you complete is something you've never got to go back to, and that's how we've seen it, just one step at a time.
Who was your assessor?
So we've been going through Kim,
Kim.
um, Kim Hutchinson for the skills assessment.
Yeah, but who was
Uh,
the assessor who did your technical interview? Was it Mark or
sorry,
was it
yeah. So it was,
Rick?
now forgive me on the second name. I think it was Mike Bren Skinner. Maybe I've got that wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, all good. All good. Yeah, so Mike did it. Okay, well that's cool. So that's mate, I reckon that's awesome that you've done it. So how did you find the technical interview?
The technical interview was actually, I'd say, the least don't want to use the word stressful, the least complicated thing. I mean, we used it as an opportunity to have a little break. So we all went down to London. We stayed in a hotel not far from where the DUC do it. So I could get up early, have some breakfast. I went in, and it was like I think 2 hours. It was allowed for 2 hours, but I think we did it in like maybe 45 minutes. And I just, as you can probably tell already, I could talk the legs off the back of a donkey. So we was just chatting away about the stuff that I do on site. He asked me a couple of things that most joiners will know, sort of how I'd set certain things out, and we sort of got lost in conversation, and it felt like a discussion with another joiner. So I wasn't really that nervous about it. I'd heard from this podcast what to expect,
Yeah.
but it was cool. Yeah, it was sort of stuff that most joiners would know, and I found it quite comfortable. He was really really cool to talk to as well. So
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm ripping you off a bit here. Like you signed up with us on the 20th of January, and you
yes,
completed your skills assessment on the 12th of the third. That's less than 2 months. That's in like 6 weeks.
yes,
That's mate. Anyway, we'll get over that. I like that because some people will be like, "Oh, it takes ages," which it does. But
yeah.
proof is, if you get it done, listeners, and you crack on, that's photos, videos, references, pay documents, tax documents. How many years did you have to gather, mate?
So I went with the maximum. So it was 8 years experience.
Good on you.
Um, I've got more than 8 years experience, but obviously that was the maximum. And I've always been a subby, so I've always been self-employed, going back, well, right up until, so I'm 36 now, so going right back to say 21, 22. So obviously chasing up the people that I've subbed to. When you subby in Britain, which again I'm sure you already know, you work for multiple firms, so I had to sort of turn up a lot of stones and contact people that some that I'd not spoke to or heard from in 6-7 years. But yeah, it was just perseverance, just constantly being a bit of a pest. A few of them took I say quite a while. It obviously isn't quite a while because of how quick we've gone, but I had to be a bit of a nuisance with a few of them that weren't responding to emails. But they got back to me, and we got that signed off within 2 weeks. But that was probably, as far as the skills assessment goes, I found that side of chasing people up probably the most challenging, as opposed to the technical interview and gathering the information. That was a bit easier than the first bit. So we got the hard bit out the way, if you will.
You're like, I'm still looking at your file going, this can't be right. This is because self-employed's always harder too. So anyway,
Yes.
I'm really impressed with that, and I'm very proud of our team for providing
Oh, they're
such good
brilliant.
service.
If I could just jump in there, obviously, the way that the DUC guided us through, and obviously constantly in contact with Kim, and I think she must have known from the off, like, this guy's like in a sprint, but fantastic. All the way to this process have just made it.
No,
It's a combination of the two, so they've
all,
been brilliant.
all good, mate. We appreciate kind words, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. The worst thing is, mate, Kim won't listen to this podcast. She won't want to hear me anymore. That's for sure.
Oh, I
Uh,
don't know.
you
It does
know,
take over. It's become more than just migrating. It's I didn't expect it sort of how much it does engulf you. So
Yeah, it's buzzing. And was Jessica, your lovely wife, was she helping you with the stuff, or did you
yes,
take it on?
everything everything with regards to the admin side, I'm not too great on sort of computers, so I did all the chasing up, and we was a team. She's again. I'm glad you said that because she'll listen to this and go, "Where was my bit of credit? You didn't give me
Yeah,
anything." So you've saved me there.
no, I got to get one for the boys. And
Yeah.
in your email as well that you wrote to me saying how wonderful she is in life. Remember that email you sent me,
Oh,
mate?
amazing.
She's
Yeah,
amazing.
best wife in the world. Yeah.
One of a kind. You're very lucky, and you want to show her off in Australia.
Yeah.
Um, and how old are the kids, mate?
So my son is 12, closing in on 13, and my daughter is 10.
Yeah, nice, good ages. How'd you go about them? Telling them about the plans for Oz? They happy with it? Interesting age.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, we're sort of so 3 years running now. We've gone to Thailand, which was I call it like the gateway to this happening. I know that they're completely different countries, different cultures, but that was the gateway to sort of us thinking about how we want something different to what we've got here. So my son loves surfing, loves being in
Yep.
the sea, loves beaches, loves the lifestyle, loves the outdoor living. So he's buzzing. My daughter is, a little bit more challenging if I'm going to be completely transparent. She's got a social group here. She's got a sort of a good group of friends,
She's
and
the older one,
she's the younger one.
a younger one. Okay.
Yeah, but again, excited, but also, the thought of, understandably, of sort of leaving her friends sometimes, makes her a little bit emotional. But we're okay with that. We understand that. We appreciate that, and I think when we get out there, she'll adapt quite quickly. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. They always do. And that's why, one of the reasons why I set the private Facebook group up for our clients was to communicate about that. And you'll see,
yeah,
mate, they're just legends, our clients. I'm so
yeah,
grateful. And you guys are grateful for us. We're grateful for you. It works out well. But it's nice because you're not the first person to bring over a 10 and a 13-year-old. You know what I mean? And there's other people there that can offer that support. And I think that's nice.
yeah,
And they always have catch ups. But what I'm finding out lately now is um, there's a big ladies group in Queensland, mate. They all have all of our clients, all the women, all the mums, and all that, the partners,
yeah.
and the main applicants too, I guess. They're all having boat cruises, mate, in Queensland now. That's where they have their catch ups. They have ladies' nights on on a boat. All of our clients. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like we obviously we're on. I'm not going to lie. We're on the DUC page nonstop as you are when you're going through this process, and when we see the sort of meetups and stuff, it's good because I think one of the fears that you think, especially probably more so for my wife because I'm going to be out on site, and I think it can be sometimes a lot easier to meet people through work, and she's going to take it a little bit more easy with work. Is that you could become isolated. We don't know anybody out there. But when you see the stuff on the group, like what you just said, it makes you think like we will be in those meetups 100%, and it's a great thing. So,
Do you know what I like? I like the ones that even like our assessors and all that rock up to the meetups, and I don't think it's like something you do and you go, oh, I'll meet a few people. For many families, it's like they do it on a regular basis because they get to help others when they arrive, and it's a nice feeling to do. And you don't
yeah,
have to get along with everyone. We know what it's like. We've got kids, mate. We don't have to get on with the kids' parents, and when
yeah,
I say kids' parents, I don't mean our wives. I mean our kids' mates' parents. We don't
yeah,
have to get along with them. It's the same
yeah.
as with the migrants. Um, when you meet other people, but it's definitely nice to do it. And so, what was the draw? I mean, you mentioned your son, like the beach and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Was why Queensland? Was there any other reasons for Queensland?
Well, I think basically, if I just go back a bit, so the whole it all began with Thailand. So we first went to Thailand 4 years ago, and then my work partner, who I'd worked with for 4 years, he went over to Adelaide. His sisters lived out there for 20 years, and he went to a wedding. So before this, we knew that we wanted a change. We knew that we couldn't just keep living for this holiday that we have at Christmas, that we felt a little bit separated from things here. It's a hard thing to explain, but someone else on your podcast called it keeping up with the Joneses. We just sort of felt a separation from everything here, and we knew we wanted to move. So he came back from Adelaide just with all this information, and every day he'd say to me, you know, you've got to get out there, you've got to get your kids out there. He talked about the life and the work-life balance, and not having the grim winters and all that. So we was like, okay, I listened. We then went to Croatia. We met two couples, Aussies, again from Adelaide, funny enough. So when you say why we chose Queensland, everything was pointing to Adelaide, but these two couples, exactly the same points, similar sort of things, just regarding the schools, the opportunities. So then we was like, right, we really need to think about this, but obviously you can think forever. And this year in Thailand, right at the end of the holiday, was on a beach called Nahon, and a guy came over with a very similar accent and asked us where we got our beers from. And straight away was like, oh, you know, when you see someone from the other side of the world with the same accent, was like, where are you from? And he says, well, I'm from Belper, which is round the corner, but I've lived in Australia for 10 years. And me and my wife were like, right, take a seat. We picked his brains. And he was the guy, if you will, that sort of, imagine, was on the edge of the cliff. He just gave us that nudge. Yeah. And he just, all three of them, very, very similar points. And we said in that moment, we're going to come back. We're going to contact. Well, we didn't know it would be the DUC at that time, but we're gonna go for this thing. So with regards to Queensland, I think obviously we've never been to Australia. That's the truth, and we don't know anybody. We're going on what we've heard from people that live there and people that have gone out there. I think work opportunities was the big pull with the Olympics coming up. If I'm being honest, obviously I want to be in work and I want to do well with my job, but also we just love how it looks. The Gold Coast looks beautiful. We like that there's more there with regards to, we travel a lot and we like to move about, so it doesn't feel very isolated, and it feels like there's a lot in that stretch between the Sunshine Coast, Brisbane, the Gold Coast, that, you know, at weekends you're not sort of isolated in one place, and it just, I don't know, we felt like a draw towards Queensland, and it just completely makes sense now, which is a strange thing to say because we've not been there and you're going off content and other people's words. So, yeah.
But what you just said there was like really interesting because, Ryan, that is a really good stretch. That's a really good stretch because if you're talking about between, Brizzy and the Goldie, I think that's what you mentioned at the start, right?
Yeah.
Brizzy and the Goldie. So, the sunny coast ain't too far from that. Then you got like your northern New South Wales, and you've got, oh mate, like it's there's so much to see. Then you got like down south as well, like on the way to Sydney too. So it is a good stretch, and there is a lot of work going on. I was talking with Energy Skills. They're like the big provider for look after all the electrical and gas things in Queensland, and they're like, oh, we need a couple of thousand sparkies, and I'm like, okay, I've got a few. We assess the electricians. And then they go, we're just going to contact immigration. And I'm like, mate, immigration doesn't work like that. They've got a quota of numbers that they can bring in. And anyway, but that's just electricians, and we like to hang a bit of shit on the sparkies too, mate. So
for sure.
To a carpenter and 6 electricians to a plumber. We know that. Yeah. So, but anyway, they need a lot off them. So it just goes to show you there is a bit of work. And also you've got the affordability aspect as well. I think Queensland's, quite affordable. I know when you get older, it's like, oh, back in my day or when we first got here, that's always going to be the case. It's always going to be the case. But when you compare it for what you're getting and how it works, it's actually pretty good. So let's talk about the arrival and everything. So you've made it possible to get to where you are now really quickly, which is wonderful. Let's say you get your invite in a week. 6 months later, the visa gets granted. Are you, you're selling properties? Are you off and about? Do you have like a sort of time scale from when you're going to arrive in Oz? Will it be this year? Is it straight away? Have you got future plans?
Yeah, well, it's sort of like a constant discussion of we've just got the house that we live in, so we've got a mortgage, and we're going to take the money out of the house that we live in, and that's going to be our start in Australia. Now, obviously, we're looking at the DUC page, and I know that you can't sort of formulate off other people's, but the speed, as you say, in which some of the visas are getting granted at the minute is quite unbelievable. I've seen one, I think it was something like 4 weeks after the EOI, and then I've seen people getting their invitation after the EOI within a week. So it's when to put the house on. We are thinking as soon as the invitation comes that we put the house on the market, and if it does go quick, we're gonna go. We're gonna go and travel a bit and wait it out. With down in that Southeast Asian region that we love so much, we're thinking of sort of spending a bit of time there, taking a bit of time out, and then when we go to Australia, this is purely because we've seen again with online, we've seen quite a few Brits do that, raising the point that it's probably the only time. Well, it will be the only time in our lives that you're out of the system with regards to you've not got a house, the kids are out of school, you're about to start your new life. Why not, have a bit of time out there? So we're thinking house on the market when our invitations come through, and then if it goes quick, then we get a bit longer out in Vietnam, Cambodia, those sort of regions. We're thinking so.
Yeah, I think like you're saying it because that strategy works. Like so many people do it.
Yeah,
It sucks, man. I've been around. I've travelled the whole of Oz. Been around Europe, the UK, and all that. So I've been to America, and I've
yeah,
never been to Thailand, Vietnam, Bali. I've never been,
yeah,
and I remember when I was saving up to go on a bit of a surfing thing, which I wanted to do. Anyway, I wanted to go on a bit of a surfing thing with a few mates, and I started working with a plumber. And he offered me an apprenticeship. My dad was like, "You're taking it." I'm like, "No, I've saved all this money to backpack through Vietnam." He's like, "You've got all your life to do it. Don't worry about it."
yeah, yeah,
Did the apprenticeship, and I've never been. I'm grateful I got an opportunity to do apprenticeship, but I've never been back. And now with the kids, it's like it's a bit hard. Mine
yes,
are a little bit younger than yours, so
yeah,
yeah, no, I think it's wonderful, and you do have a long time to be there. We've done a few podcasts actually where people have been, you know, in Asia, just having a
yeah,
chat and hear all the different native birds in the background, or like you're sitting on the couch now, like we're having a yarn, and the others are like in hotel rooms, like not hotel rooms, like apartment sort of things on
yeah,
veranda,
yeah,
and I'm like looking around at the background, going, "Geez, it looks good." So
yeah. I
definitely
call
can't.
it. I feel like it's a. I've said it before, and I don't know how you feel, but I feel like it's a gateway to emigrating to Australia in such a strange way because if we never went out there, we would never have had that sort of thing where we was questioning our lives back in Britain, because it's people have got so much less but seem so happy. It's and then you think, well, we'll move to Thailand, but the work opportunities aren't there. Joiners aren't paid the same. It just doesn't work that way. So you go, well, what's the next possible thing if it's not there? And then you go to Australia, and I just wonder how many people where it all began from going to that region to them actually emigrating to Australia. It's I can imagine it's a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, there'll be truckloads. Now, with your partner, right? So,
Yeah.
what are you doing for work? What's Jessica do for work?
So she's like an office manager. So she sort of does bookkeeping
Yeah,
for a cleaning and maintenance firm.
yeah, nice. And so, what's the plan when you get to Oz? Because your kids are going to go straight into school. What they'll both be 10. That's time you get to. So, that'll be grade 5, grade 6 probably. If they get in next year. So one will be
Yeah.
in
So
primary school, your daughter will be in primary school, and your son will be in high school.
yeah, it's a strange one because she's due to start secondary school in September, but
Oh,
depending on how it works, she may not start secondary school here. So does it
yeah.
work the same um,
How old is
years
she?
wise? So do they go up to secondary school in Australia? I probably should know this. I'm asking you, but
Mate, I should probably know this too. You might have to edit this bit out. No, just kidding, listeners.
yeah,
We don't know how, well, we don't know how the school years work. We definitely don't know how to edit. Put it that way. It's mate, my son's 9 and he's in
yeah,
grade 4, but he's turning 10 next week actually.
yeah,
So 11 must be grade 5, and then 12 must be grade 6.
yeah,
Um, going on ages. Yeah, that sounds about right. And then 13 would be year 7. So I
yeah,
don't know. Mate, we've got a whole relocation on that. We've got a relocation website, and it talks about schools in each state, and there's all the information on the on what Queensland and that offer and how the schooling works there. So
brilliant.
yeah,
Yeah,
have a look at that. But it is a cool age. But I'm thinking that the boy might be going into high school, and your daughter might have one more year of primary, maybe.
yeah, cool. Yeah, yeah, that's
Maybe,
cool.
but that just gives him an extra chance to make a few friends. It's kind of
Absolutely.
it's nice when you start high school as well. Everyone's fresh, everyone's new.
Yeah,
because all
Yeah.
in Oz, like you don't necessarily like you have primary schools, and then there's lots of high school options. So you meet
Yeah.
all new people from other primary schools, and you've got some kids from your primary school that go, but most of it, it's they're all new, which is good. So
Yeah.
you're going to come to Oz. You're going to have a little bit of cash. You're going to have enough to buy, like with buying a house. Are you going to go back on the rental market for a bit, or are you going to have enough equity to put a deposit
Yeah.
down?
I think what we're going to do is I think we're gonna rent for a year. We're going to get to know the area, and we would like to buy, but I think for a year, just obviously because it's going to be completely brand new. We are going to just rent for a year, and that will give us time to sort of see where we'd want to buy. Because obviously buying's very permanent, and I think to buy before you've truly known the suburbs and which part you want to live
Yeah,
in would be a bit crazy.
yeah. It's just optional, isn't it? It's one of those things.
Yeah,
It's like, people don't like renting, and then they just want to buy, and then you got like, well, if you buy, and then it goes. I don't think house prices ever go down, but I'm not no expert in that, which is good. So it's really like we do lots of podcasts with people that haven't been to Oz, and you've spoken about a few people there in Adelaide. Do you have a support network in Queensland or anything like that? Have you looked into that apart from obviously got DUC club people and our previous migrants, but anyone else out there, mate?
no, no, not at all. No, literally, no. It's as I say that the process has sort of gone as you've mentioned that quick. But no, we're gonna use the opportunity with social media. I talked to there's a couple of joiners that have got YouTube channels that I speak to sort of over the comments, and I've been watching non-stop the joiner. I'm sort of fascinated by the joiners out there, and there's some great channels. So
Which,
and
which
two
one?
of them are based in Queensland. So whether you could call that a support network, but they're definitely people I'd like to hook up with when I get over there and just
Yeah.
sort of find how it works.
Oh, there's heaps, man. There are awesome people in Queensland. So how about who have you told? Have you told like your families and all that, or what's the go with that, mate? Or is it a secret?
Yes, yeah, we have, but we've not made like a huge deal about it. We've sort of held it down until we keep saying like, yeah, when we're further on, we will. When we're further on, we will. But obviously, you're coming to the point where, yeah, where you're quite close. So we've told people, and I think a few people probably think it's going to be a lot further on than what it is because when we initially had the consultation, we sort of discussed it and we thought, oh, we'd probably be looking definitely at next year or maybe well into next year. So we've I'll say we've told people subtly. We've not gone, oh, like made a big sort of song and dance about it, if you will.
Until you get the invite, it's kind of good because then you can say to people, "Oh, look, we've actually paid our government fees. It's happening. We don't know when we're going, but yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be shooting off." What does it look like? What in your mind? What is what would a weekend look like living in Queensland for you?
Oh, wow. Well, I've got this thing, sort of, I'll bring it back into the week. So in the winter months here, like now, it's dark. It's dark when you go to work, dark when you come in, and it's very much sort of come in and you sort of lock yourself away. And I've just got this image in my head of coming in from work on like a Tuesday or a Thursday, just a random day, and just saying to my kids, put your phones in the kitchen drawer, shut in the kitchen drawer. We're going in the car and we're driving somewhere, maybe to a beach or to a country park. And I've just that's
Yep,
what gets me sort of going. Nothing too extravagant, nothing too exciting, but just
it's a
no
good.
phones, no digital devices, and just taking it all in. That's what I'm looking forward to. The sunlight, and just the freedom of the work life balance. Because as I say, here we sort of live for the summers, as I'm sure you've heard multiple times. And when it is this time of year, you just go into this zone of I don't know, too much on the phone and not enough living. And I'm just looking forward to just going to the beach and just sitting on the sand and watching the sun go down. It might sound cheesy, or watching the sun come up in the morning.
No, no,
Um,
not at all.
Real stuff.
I'm actually thinking of suing the UK
Yeah.
because I was there for 15 years, mate. I arrived with blonde
Oh.
hair, left with bloody ginger hair. With no sun, mate.
Yeah.
Vitamin C. So I've got to look into who I can sue for that because
Yeah.
come home and my mates are like, "You got ginger hair. You are a pom." And I'm like, "No, mate. I didn't get the sun bleached, the natural color."
Yeah.
Um, But anyway, no, I like it's just different. Like it's so achievable. And I sort of mentioned at the start this is being filmed before Easter, so give you a bit of a life what Easter's like. So probably the first time ever. I don't know how many podcasts we've done, or I don't know if this is true or not, but I've actually just cracked a beer, mate, because it's Thursday night here.
Nice.
I'll put it out of office on my calendar. That still doesn't mean I'm not going to get 5,000 calls on Good Friday and
Yeah.
10,000 calls on Easter Sunday. But
Yeah.
such is life. Easter, and we're coming up to a 4-day break, and it's even though we've just had Christmas, and I know that I'm extremely exhausted at the moment. I can do with a nice little break. There's a really good atmosphere at Easter time. Everyone's
Oh
really
wow.
nice, and I feel I'm very blessed where I live on the Mornington Peninsula in Victoria.
Yeah.
It's really busy. Like I work from home. My office, I've got an office here, but anyway, I spend most of the time at home. I go out the front, and there'll be heaps of cars and that coming. But my mum's down. Bless her socks. She's not doing too well. She's got Alzheimer's, so we got to
Oh
spend a bit of time with her, and so she
yeah.
look after her. But her sister brought her down. They're staying in a caravan park, and we're going to watch a game of footy tonight, and then tomorrow
Nice.
we're on a bike ride. He's an 80-year-old man, my uncle. He's a legend, Uncle Bernie. And not that he'll ever listen to this, but we're going to go off and do that. And then Saturday we're going to the markets with them. We're sleeping in there. Me and my sons are going to camp in there because they're staying in a caravan park, Ryan. So we're going to pitch our tent, me and my two sons, just to hang out. It's literally 15 minutes down the road, but it gives them an opportunity to catch up with all the tourists that are down. And then Saturday put the boat in. And then go for a little bit of a fish. My uncle doesn't want to fish, I've just been told, but I'll take the kids out for a quick fish. And then Sunday put a spit on, and then that's it. Before you know, it's Monday, and you sort of got to recover. And it's we're sort of looking at low to sort of mid-20s for the weekend too, from like Friday through to Sunday, which is good. A little bit of rain, but I guess the messaging is with this is even though it's Easter and we're meant to get a bit of cold weather now. It's actually not that bad, and it's just exciting because we the whole weekend's based about being outside. If you think about a couple of days to go camping, go fishing, go on a bit of a bike ride, and go to a market, it's fun. And then plus having a spit, which is you guys know what a spit is, don't you? You know what
I'm going to say barbecue.
it's where you it's a rotisserie.
No.
So a rotisserie. So when you go to the kebab shop and they've got the meat that spins around.
Yes.
So most barbies in Oz have one of them. So you just buy a big bit of lamb and put it on the spit, and then it's like a social thing. Everyone, for some reason, we just sit there and watch it for ages. Most of the blokes do, I think. Anyway, just watch it spin and drip all the juice off it, and then you get to eat it. But it's festival, and we still do like the Easter things. Like our kids will do Easter where we hide the eggs outside and we put them around and everything. But they've got to fill in a clue first, so where their main eggs. They've got to find letters, which are in these plastic eggs. They find the letters, and then they have to make the words where the main eggs are. So it takes them to do it. Anyway, it's really nice. Easter is a really nice time of the year.
I mean that just sounds, everything you've just said there sounds absolutely bliss, to be honest with you. And I hope you have a really good one. It does. That's just sounds perfect, sort of.
And just with that, Ryan, like a school holidays is about to start. What we're doing is probably considered a little bit boring. Most families will take their caravan, rent their house out for the 2 weeks, on an Airbnb, and then shoot up north. They'll drive up to where you are in that, in that time. Well, with the fuel prices now, I think a few people may cancel. But anyway, there's so much to do. All right, last question for you, mate. Any advice for others? I know you've done really well with getting there, but like anything at all you've got for anyone, mate?
Yeah, for sure. And I know we've not sort of covered it, but I really struggled with the PT academic.
Yep.
So I could sort of, if I could say, my writing before I began my revision was poor, really poor. Vocabulary, punctuation. I was literally achieving such low marks on the mock tests, and I was really worried about it. And I know quite a few other people are. So what I would say is I failed my first test. When I say failed, I didn't get sufficient to get the 10 points for my visa.
Yep.
so I had to go into just a crazy revision mode, and I just wanted to share a little bit about that. I put something on the page which got quite a bit of traction, but I used ChatGPT as well as the apps, and at break and at dinner at work, rather than sort of dead scrolling, watching garbage like I normally do. I just threw paragraphs, sentences, different things at ChatGPT and just said, look, can you tell me where I'm going wrong? I mean, I didn't even know where to put commas in sentences. I was so far behind on my writing. My speaking was fine. Again, as you can probably tell, I can talk and talk, but my writing was just really poor. And by using that and by constantly sort of working on it, I managed to achieve a 90 in writing last week. And I was going from a very, very, let's just say, a very low bar. I've never been diagnosed dyslexic, but I get all my letters mixed up, my spelling and everything. So for anybody that's in that place, anyone from a construction-based background or any background that doesn't feel that it's possible, believe me, it is. You just have to sort of crack the code and believe in yourself. Because when I walked out of the test centre last week, and this is the sort of margins with the process, I was convinced that I'd done terrible. I was down on myself. And to be honest with you, to be completely transparent, I thought, is this even going to happen? And then the next day, which was last Friday, I'm on a roof and my results come through, 390s and a 78. I think the lads thought I'd won the lottery because I was running around screaming. Some scaffolders said to me, are you the one that's won the lottery? I said, no, I haven't won the lottery. I've just passed an English test. They just walked off. I don't think they understand the sort of pressure and stuff that goes into it. I'm so glad it's done. But yeah, that would be the one thing I'd want to get across. You'll do it. No matter how low your mock test scores are, you'll get there. It's just a challenge.
Yeah, it is. It's hard. And I hate it. I feel like knocking on immigration's door and saying, oi, we want tradies, not bloody, we don't need scholars. We need people out. Like, it's just crazy at the moment how busy everyone is. The amount of calls we get from employers. And the thing is, it's a bit of a, it's quite interesting this. So some employers are like, no, we don't want people arriving with permanent visas. We just want to sponsor. And then which costs some money. And then it's not the best visa, depending on the sponsorship, obviously, but it's not usually the best visa for the migrant with opportunities. And then you've got others that are like, oh, no, we don't want to sponsor. We just want people arriving. Cool. Well, we're not a recruitment company. We can help you with that. So it's interesting. There's so much work here, which is going to be really good for you guys and our other tradies arriving. So, but what do you got planned for Easter, mate? What's Easter look like for you?
So after this podcast, we're going down to Cornwall, so the very, very bottom of England. And don't get me wrong, the weather's not the best, but we'll make a good go of it. We'll get our coats on, see some beautiful beaches, and just relax. We're going for 5 nights. So we base sort of in the middle of Cornwall, and then we just travel around. And we knew anytime you book a holiday in the UK around this time, it's a risk. I think lockdown was the last time where we actually got some half decent weather at this time, but you just gotta get in there, and I'm looking forward to it.
Are you going to Torquay? Are you going to Devon?
No, we're going to the place in Cornwall. We're going to Lou, so we'll stay there, and then we'll go down to Lizard's Point. And we've done it quite a few times, and just Torquay I think is a bit further up, but Cornwall in itself's massive, and there's plenty to see. I'd say it's the English Riviera. It's the most beautiful part of England, and it'll probably be, it will be the last time that we see it. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Now, my wife's mum lives in Devon, in Torquay. It's a town called Cockington, and I used to stay there. And I got a few mates, and I went for a surf down in Cornwall as well. Did that a few times. I drove from there to there. It's not too far, but it's still, I guess, a bit of a hike. So, but mate, look, you have a wonderful Easter. Keep safe.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful journey to Australia. And from all the listeners and myself and from the Down Under Centre team, thanks for being a great client. We've still got a few more hurdles to catch, but really appreciate you making the time to tell your story and to top that bit of English advice too. And all the best, mate. And we'll listeners, we'll catch you on the next podcast. Take care, everyone.
Yeah, appreciate your time, and it's a great podcast, and we listen to it all the time. So thanks very much.
No, you're very welcome, mate. We'll do another one when you get here, man.
Yeah, great stuff.
Awesome. All right, well, listeners, take care, keep safe, and good luck with your journey to Oz, everyone. Catch you later.